author of Deep Thinking, Where Artificial Intelligence Ends and Human Creativity Begins. New book out right now from Garry Kasparov. Gary, great to see you.
Good morning.
Congratulations on the new book.
Thank you.
Yeah, we want to talk about that because AI is the only thing people are talking about these days in terms of technology. But first, let's get your thoughts on Russia and this safe zone plan. Your thought?
Look, it's the result of 8 years of Obama inaction. So what do you expect? If you create vacuum, somebody fills it. And now, since Erdogan has been moving steadily into the direction of Putin's Russia, so it had to be expected, said that Russia, Iran and Turkey will do something with America being absent. And now it's another big test for the administration, because we knew that the non-fly zones had to be established by the Americans to prevent Russian-Syrian genocide of innocent civilians. Now it's the opposite. So they are cutting America off, and the administration will have to think about the proper response.
Do you think this will work, though?
I don't know. It's not easy, because if you're out, it takes much more energy to come back. But I don't think there's any other chance but to find the adequate response, because otherwise the Middle East will be lost for America, and there will be no peace, because neither Russia nor Iran have any interest of pacifying the region. They will be looking for creating more tension, and the war will not end.
Yeah.
But in terms of the strikes that the United States made in Syria, what kind of message do you think that did send to Russia and Iran?
No, it sent a message that this administration will act.
Unlike the Obama.
No, just forget it. It's 80 years of inaction.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's strategic patience, leading from behind, you name it. But still, there's no strategy. It was one strike, good news. It had quite a shocking effect in Russia. I think it probably had an effect in the Far East. But one move, it's not a strategy, as we say in chess. So it's time now to show whether there is strategy and to start getting back, because hopefully Americans will understand that, you know, without American presence in the region, there will be no peace, and eventually it will bite both Europeans and Americans, because the terrorism and the refugees, they will not stay in the region.
Late Wednesday, U.S. fighter jets intercepted 2 Russian bombers flying near Alaska's air defense zone. It was a tense situation, obviously, coming in just hours after Secretary of State Rex Tillerson spoke about the frayed relationship now between Russia and the U.S. Listen to this. I want to get your reaction, Gary.
I know many of you heard from my trip to Moscow characterized to President Putin that the relationship between our two nations was the lowest it's been since the Cold War. He did not disagree. He shrugged his shoulders and nodded in agreement. And I said, it's spiraling down, it's getting worse. And my comment to him was, we cannot have the 2 greatest nuclear powers in the world cannot have this kind of relationship. We have to change it.
How would you characterize the relationship right now, Gary? And what about these flights near Alaska? Is Russia trying to provoke the U.S.?
The relations exactly where Putin wants his relations to be, because confrontation with America is the core of his domestic propaganda. You have to listen to Russian television. America is arch enemy, and Putin needs to show strength all the time with all his planes flying around, because economy is in terrible shape. You saw oil prices going down, so he doesn't expect any improvements. So he will keep creating problems to demonstrate to Russian elite and to Russian public that he can defy the United States.
That's his currency.
That's his only currency.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so far it's the best currency, because under Obama, America played the ball.
Yeah.
So you believe that the U.S. and Russian relationships are more antagonistic than ever before, even during the Cold War?
As long as Putin stays there, it will be the same, because he cannot improve them. He needs an enemy. That's, as every dictator at this point, he needs an enemy to explain why the situation in the country is so poor, and also to explain why he's staying in power for the rest of his life.
So what about this probe into Russia election meddling?
Look, I was pleased to hear that FBI director basically said what I've been saying for years, that looking at the intentions and capabilities and resources, Russia is under Putin, is the most dangerous nation in the world, and it's arch enemy of the United States.
Gary, so you mentioned oil prices. So oil yesterday closed at the lowest level since late November. It was just down yesterday almost 5%. When oil starts collapsing like that, it hurts Russia's economy. What does Putin do to juice the price of oil? Because we have seen him do that.
Can he do that? Can he juice it?
Provocative.
No.
In the Middle East to drive up the cost.
No, he cannot cut the production, because he has to make sure that his buddies, his cronies, they are compensated for all these losses. Many Russian oligarchs who are suffering from sanctions. So Putin will look for more trouble. He knows that even if oil goes up a little bit, it will never go back to 100 plus, what he needs to revive the economy. So he will scratch here and there. We can see already cuts in everything in Russian budget except military, security, and propaganda. And he will look for more problems, hoping that maybe with all these problems in the Middle East and elsewhere, he can expect a hike of the oil prices. But most importantly, he can divert the attention of Russian public from economic problems to the global confrontation with the United States.
It's all a diversion. And I love the fact that, when they say, oh, well, he's so popular in Russia. Well, what would you say if you got a call from the Kremlin and said, hi, we're calling from the Kremlin. What's your opinion on the president right now?
But also, look,
very favorable. What are you going to say?
If you have one restaurant in the city, it's just one dish. The dish will be popular.
Yeah, exactly. So,